Think you know Appalachia? Think again. This ancient mountain range hides secrets that make the Grand Canyon look like a crack in the sidewalk. From underground rivers that could swallow entire cities to mountains older than complex life on Earth, Appalachia is a geological time machine wrapped in mystery. These 15 facts will shatter everything you thought you knew about America's backbone. Let's dive in. Fact 15. The Appalachian Mountains are older than Saturn's rings. You think the pyramids are ancient? The Appalachian Mountains make Egyptian monuments look like yesterday's construction project. These peaks formed 480 million years ago, making them older than trees, dinosaurs, and even Saturn's rings. When these mountains first rose, Earth was a completely alien world with no land plants, no complex animals, and continents arranged in configurations you wouldn't recognize. The Appalachians witnessed the assembly and breakup of the supercontinent Pangaea, multiple ice ages, and the entire evolutionary journey from simple sea creatures to modern humans. Originally, they towered as tall as today's Himalayas before hundreds of millions of years of erosion sculpted them into their current gentle slopes. Some exposed rock formations in the Appalachian core date back 1.2 billion years, containing minerals that formed when Earth was still a violent, primordial planet learning how to sustain life. Fact 14. Appalachia's secret Himalayan twin. Here's something that will break your brain. The Appalachian Mountains, stretching from Georgia to Maine, are literally the exact same mountain range as Scotland's Highlands and Norway's mountains. You're looking at pieces of one massive mountain chain, ripped apart and scattered across 3 continents. These peaks all formed during the same colossal collision 480 million years ago, when ancient continents smashed together to create the supercontinent Pangaea. Think of it as the ultimate continental jigsaw puzzle. When Pangaea broke apart 200 million years ago, it tore this mountain range down the middle, sending chunks floating to opposite sides of the Atlantic Ocean. Today, you can find identical rock formations, matching mineral deposits, and even the same fossil species embedded in Appalachian cliffs and Scottish mountainsides. Geologists can literally match up rock layers across the ocean like fingerprints, proving these distant peaks were once neighbors in Earth's most dramatic breakup. Fact 13. The mountains that defied gravity. You'd expect ancient mountains to shrink over time, worn down by millions of years of rain, wind, and ice. But the Appalachians are doing the opposite. They're growing. These peaks mysteriously rise 2 to 3 millimeters every single year, despite constant erosion trying to tear them down. The secret lies buried in their Ice Age past. During the last glacial period, mile-thick ice sheets pressed down on these mountains with unimaginable weight, compressing the land like a giant. Geological spring. When those glaciers melted 10,000 years ago, the mountains started bouncing back in super slow motion. This post-glacial rebound continues today, with some areas rising over 100 feet since the Ice Age ended. It's like watching a mattress slowly return to shape after someone gets out of bed, except the mattress is made of solid rock, and the process takes thousands of years. Fact 12. America's underground Saudi Arabia. Forget the Middle East. The real energy empire sits buried beneath Appalachian ridges and hollows. These ancient mountains hold 50% of America's total coal reserves, an estimated 257 billion tons of black gold stacked in seams up to 50 feet thick. The coal deposits stretch across 13 states like a massive underground treasure vault that makes Saudi oil fields look modest by comparison. This energy bonanza formed 300 million years ago when tropical swamps covered the region, trapping countless tons of decaying plant matter under layers of sediment. Over geological time, heat, and pressure transformed these ancient wetlands into the combustible rock that powered America's industrial revolution. But extracting this buried wealth has come at a devastating cost. Mining operations have removed entire mountaintops and buried over 2,000 miles of Appalachian streams under mining waste, turning some of the world's oldest mountains into America's most environmentally scarred landscape. Fact 11. The moonscape hidden in America's backyard. You don't need to travel to the moon to see an alien landscape. Just visit Appalachia, where mountaintop removal mining has created barren moonscapes so dramatic they're visible from space. Since the 1970s, coal companies have clear-cut over 1.4 million acres of ancient Appalachian forests, transforming lush green ridges into gray, lifeless plateaus that look like something from another planet. Some mining operations slice off up to 800 feet of mountaintop using explosives more powerful than the atomic bomb. Dropped on Hiroshima, entire ecosystems vanish overnight as million-year-old peaks get decapitated to reach coal seams below. The devastation is staggering. This industrial butchery has eliminated 2,000 miles of streams and headwaters, burying flowing water under millions of tons of mining waste. What took nature hundreds of millions of years to build gets destroyed in months, leaving behind lunar craters where mountains once stood. Fact 10. coal seams that burn for centuries. Picture hell literally burning beneath your feet. That's reality for Appalachian communities sitting above underground coal fires that have raged for over 100 years. These subterranean infernos turn quiet mountain towns into slow-motion disaster zones. Centralia, Pennsylvania became the most famous casualty when an underground fire ignited in 1962 and spread like a virus through coal veins beneath the entire town. Ground temperatures soared to 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit, hot enough to melt copper. Deadly sinkholes opened without warning, swallowing roads and releasing toxic gases that could kill you in minutes. The fire covers 3,700 acres underground and shows no signs of stopping. Experts predict it could burn for another 250 years, making it one of the longest disasters in American history. The government finally gave up and evacuated the entire town in 1992, leaving behind a real-life ghost town with fires still burning beneath empty streets. Fact 9. The underground river system, larger than the Nile. You think the Nile is impressive? Try navigating Kentucky's Mammoth Cave System, an underground river network that makes surface waterways look like garden hoses. This subterranean labyrinth contains over 420 miles of surveyed passages, making it the longest known cave system on Earth. But here's the kicker, it's still growing. Cave explorers discover new passages every year as underground rivers continue carving fresh tunnels through limestone bedrock. The Green River, which flows through this underground maze, has been sculpting these passages for 10 million years, creating a hidden aquatic highway that connects multiple states. This isn't just one cave, it's an entire underground continent of waterways, chambers, and tunnels that could swallow major cities. While the Nile flows across Africa's surface for everyone to see, Mammoth Cave's rivers run secretly beneath Appalachian feet, carrying more water through more miles of passages than most people could explore in a lifetime. Fact 8. America's deepest underground lake. You've seen underground rivers, but have you ever imagined a massive lake hidden beneath Tennessee mountains? Meet the Lost Sea, America's largest underground lake lurking in the depths of Craighead Caverns. This subterranean ocean covers 4.5 acres and plunges over 140 feet deep into absolute darkness, making it deeper than a 14-story building is tall. Fed by underground streams connected to the Tennessee River system, the Lost Sea maintains a constant temperature of 58 degrees Fahrenheit year-round, never freezing in winter or warming in summer. It's like nature's ultimate thermostat, a liquid time capsule preserved in perpetual climate control. Early cave explorers discovered this hidden lake by accident, stumbling into an underground world where massive chambers filled with crystal clear water stretch beyond the reach of their torches. The lake represents just a fraction of the underground water systems flowing secretly beneath Appalachian bedrock. Fact 7. Waterfalls that flow upward. You think gravity always wins? Think again. During severe storms, Appalachian waterfalls can literally reverse direction and flow upward, defying one of physics' most basic rules. The 100-foot Kotterskill Falls in New York has been documented flowing backward during hurricanes, with water shooting up instead of down like some impossible natural fountain. This mind-bending phenomenon occurs when hurricane-force winds get funneled through narrow mountain gorges, creating updrafts more powerful than gravity itself. Wind speeds in these stone channels can exceed 80 miles per hour, turning valleys into massive wind tunnels that grab falling water and hurl it skyward. These upside-down waterfalls can persist for hours during extreme weather events, creating surreal scenes where water falls up while rain falls down. It's nature's ultimate magic trick, proof that even in our modern world, mountains can still rewrite the rules of reality during their wildest tantrums. Fact 6. The forest that glows in the dark. You think fireflies put on a light show? Wait until you see Appalachian forests at night, where entire trees glow with an otherworldly green luminescence that turns woodlands into natural nightclubs. Over 80 species of bioluminescent fungi call these ancient mountains home, infecting dead wood with organisms that literally light up the darkness. Early settlers called this phenomenon foxfire or fairy fire, and the ghostly green glow was so reliable they used chunks of rotting wood as natural lanterns to navigate forest trails after sunset. These luminescent fungi feast on decaying timber, converting chemical energy into cold light that can make entire fallen logs shine like alien artifacts. The bioluminescent serves as a beacon to attract insects, which help spread fungal spores to new locations. On moonless nights, Appalachian hikers can witness entire hillsides flickering with this primordial light, creating an enchanted landscape that predates human civilization by millions of years. Fact 5. America's Amazon rainforest. You want to see the world's world's most biodiverse forest? Skip the Amazon and head to the Great Smoky Mountains, where ancient Appalachian coves pack more species diversity per acre than any tropical rainforest on Earth. These misty hollows contain more tree species than all of Europe combined, hosting over 2,000 species of fungi in an area smaller than Rhode Island. While the Amazon gets all the publicity, Appalachian forests quietly harbor biological treasures that make South American jungles look ordinary by comparison. These mountain coves serve as living museums, preserving plant species that survived multiple ice ages by hiding in protected valleys when glaciers scoured the surrounding landscape. Some tree species found in these ancient refuges exist nowhere else on Earth, making Appalachian forests true biological islands. The region's unique mix of northern and southern species creates ecosystems so rich that scientists are still discovering new forms of life in America's forgotten rainforest. Fact 4. The salamander capital of the world. You think pandas are rare? Try finding a square foot of Appalachian forest without a salamander. These ancient mountains host 30% of the world's salamander species in what amounts to a global amphibian empire hidden under logs and rocks. Some areas pack over 10,000 individual salamanders into a single acre, creating population densities that would make Manhattan look spacious. Here's the mind-blowing part. Salamanders in Appalachian streams actually outweigh all the birds and mammals combined. These slimy little creatures form the foundation of the entire forest food web, consuming more insects than all other predators and serving as vital food sources for everything from trout to black bears. Without salamanders, Appalachian ecosystems would collapse like houses of cards. They're essentially the region's biological currency, moving energy from microscopic soil organisms up through the food chain to support the incredible diversity that makes these mountains America's secret rainforest. Fact 3. Mountains that sing. You've heard mountains echo, but have you ever heard one actually sing? Appalachian peaks produce haunting melodies that sound like giant wind chimes or otherworldly choir music, drifting across ridgelines during specific weather conditions. Sand Mountain in Georgia creates the most famous mountain music, humming and whistling when loose quartz crystals embedded in its slopes vibrate in precisely the right wind patterns. The phenomenon occurs when temperature inversions trap sound waves between mountain layers, creating natural acoustic chambers that amplify and distort normal wind noise into ethereal harmonies. Early Cherokee peoples considered these singing mountains sacred places, believing the sounds came from spirits trapped within the stone peaks. They built ceremonial sites near the most vocal summits, treating the musical mountains as living entities that communicated through song. Modern science explains the mechanics, but the experience remains deeply mystical. Standing on a singing mountain during the right atmospheric conditions. Fact 2. The gorge deeper than the Grand Canyon. You think the Grand Canyon is America's deepest cut? The New River Gorge in West Virginia laughs at Arizona's fame, plunging 1,700 feet deep in sections that make the Colorado River's handiwork look shallow. Here's the twist that breaks your brain. Despite its name, the New River is actually one of the oldest rivers on Earth that's 65 million years old. This ancient waterway flows north, completely defying typical drainage patterns by slicing straight through the Appalachian Mountains instead of flowing around them like any sensible river should. The New River carved its impossible gorge through sheer stubbornness, maintaining its original course as the mountains slowly rose around it over millions of years. While other rivers got pushed aside by uplifting peaks, the New River just kept cutting deeper, creating a chasm that puts the Grand Canyon's depth to shame in America's oldest mountains. Fact 1. The breathing mountain. You've seen mountains move during earthquakes, but Grandfather Mountain in North Carolina literally breathes every single day, expanding and contracting like a massive stone lung, responding to temperature changes. This granite giant moves up to 6 inches seasonally, as thermal expansion causes the entire peak to flex and pulse like a living organism. The phenomenon is so pronounced that the famous mile-high swinging bridge built across the summit constantly sways and shifts, not from wind, but from the mountain itself moving beneath visitors' feet. During hot summer days, the granite dome swells outward as intense heat causes the rock to expand. At night, cooling temperatures make the mountain contract and settle back into itself. This geological breathing cycle occurs every 24 hours, turning one of America's most iconic peaks into a living, moving entity that inhales and exhales with the rhythm of day and night across ancient Appalachian ridges.